All right, let's dive right in. In the world of technical field service, everything's high stakes, right? But what if one of the biggest threats to your schedule, your budget, even your sanity wasn't some complex mechanical failure, but the simple box a part showed up in? Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're talking about the hidden power of packaging. You see, in sectors like heavy industry or energy, field service is all about one thing: availability. Every single minute counts. Because when a critical machine goes down, the entire operation just stops. The pressure is on, and the goal is always to get things running again, and I mean fast. So, naturally, everyone from planners to mechanics is laser focused on the fix. But here's the thought: what if the real root of so many delays and frustrations isn't the technical problem at all? What if it's something that goes wrong long before a technician even sets foot on site? Okay, so to really unpack this, we need to be on the same page about what field service truly is. It's not just about fixing broken stuff. No, it's way more than that. It's the critical extension of a company's operations. They're the front line in that constant, relentless battle against downtime. Yeah, think of field service teams as the guardians of uptime. Their whole job is to keep equipment running, right there, on site. And when they do their job well, the entire business thrives. But when they hit a snag, man, the ripple effects of that delay can spread through the whole organization. And this is exactly where we bump into something I like to call daily friction. You know what I'm talking about? These are those common, almost accepted problems that just grind things down day after day, affecting everyone from the warehouse crew to the mechanic out in the field. I mean, does any of this ring a bell? A critical part finally arrives, and it's damaged. A technician has to drive all the way back to the warehouse for something they should have had. The labels are a mess, so they're left guessing. These little things, they seem small, but they add up, right? They make the work totally unpredictable and way less efficient. And here's the craziest part. These disruptions, they just become normal. They're seen as just part of the job. It's this constant friction that everyone just learns to work around, instead of asking, hey, why don't we actually solve this? And the impact? Oh, it's huge. Planners completely lose control of their schedules. Costs start creeping up for no good reason. Mechanics are under insane pressure to just make it work on the fly. And the whole service process becomes unpredictable, which is the exact opposite of what you want. So you gotta ask, what's the common thread here? What's the silent factor behind all this daily friction? Well, like I hinted at before, it's something that's literally hiding in plain sight. It's the packaging. And here's the core of the issue. The big mindset problem. Packaging is almost always treated as just a cost, a disposable thing you try to get as cheap as possible. It's almost never seen as a functional, critical part of the service process. And that, right there, is where the trouble begins. Okay, but what happens if we flip that script? What if we stop thinking of packaging as just a throwaway cost and start treating it as a key player in the whole process? Well, when you use smart packaging, the entire service lifecycle changes. Suddenly, parts arrive protected and perfectly organized. On site, they're safe from dust, moisture, you name it. When it's time for the repair, finding the right part is quick and easy. Even sending back defective parts becomes a streamlined, systematic process. It creates continuity at every single stage. I mean, the difference is it's night and day. On one side, you've got the chaos of packaging as an afterthought. Damaged parts, unpredictable schedules, hidden costs, constant firefighting. But on the other side, when it's part of the process, you get protected parts, reliable schedules, lower costs, and real, actual continuity. And believe me, thinking this way unlocks benefits that go way beyond just stopping parts from breaking. The payoff here is so much bigger and more strategic than most companies ever realize. See, poor packaging creates all these hidden costs that get buried deep in the budget. They disguise themselves as extra hours for mechanics or the need for a second service visit. And what's the ultimate price? The one thing nobody wants: reduced machine availability. Now, check this out, because here's another benefit that might surprise you. We all talk about sustainability, right? But in field service, it's often treated like this separate thing, a different project for another day. But the truth is, real sustainability isn't a separate goal. It's the natural result of a smarter process. Think about it. Reusable, durable packaging just means less waste. It means fewer trips back and forth. It's a win for the planet that also happens to be a huge win for the bottom line. So let's bring this all back home, back to your operation. It's time to ask yourself, where is your untapped potential hiding in plain sight? Just think for a second. What are those problems that come back over and over again but never really get solved? The frustrations your team always talks about but that everyone just accepts as normal. And where do your mechanics, your highly skilled, valuable experts, lose time on stuff that isn't even technical? Are they hunting for parts, cleaning components that should have been protected, dealing with logistical nightmares? And what about your costs? Take a hard look at your budget. How many of those operational costs are actually just the price you're paying for all these avoidable disruptions? And that leads us to the big one. As you think about all this, what role is packaging playing in your story? Is it the villain causing the problems, or could it be the overlooked hero, the solution you haven't considered yet? Because here's the thing. Improvement doesn't always mean buying some huge, new, expensive system. Sometimes, the biggest wins come from rethinking the smallest, most overlooked parts of your process, the stuff you haven't questioned in years. Maybe it's time to take a closer look at the box.